Much of the pressures we experience in our lives come from our own procrastination. Hi, this is Dr. Anita with another diamond moment. The diamonds in our lives are produced through time, through heat, and through pressure. Those diamonds, in order to be utilized and turned into something of beauty, have to be processed. And this is the place that we are processing the raw information in our lives and turning it into the diamonds of our lives. We've been talking about procrastination, and the opening, the intro is very, very important in that process. Much of the time that we spend feeling so much pressure, which we can also label as stress, comes from the fact that we have yet to make a decision on the way that we want to live any particular area of our lives. As I said before, we can procrastinate in areas regarding our spirituality, our faith traditions, our beliefs. We can procrastinate emotionally, where we need to make a decision within our personal lives, but because our energy, which is in motion, is stuck, we're unable to do that. Financially, sometimes we awfulize a financial picture and it overwhelms us because we don't want to look at what we perceive the problem is. It might be us. It might be the need to make some changes in our lives, which we're not prepared to make. Or it could simply be that we're afraid to find out what the bottom line really is, fearing that it is too difficult to overcome. We may be procrastinating socially. There may be people that need to be removed, or maybe people that we would like to be introduced to, that we haven't taken the steps to be able to accomplish that goal. And then it may be that we are procrastinating in the area of our physical bodies. So many times we are going to do it tomorrow. We're going to get up. We're going to head out the door. We've got our workout clothes already in the car, and we never get in the car to go. Those are common areas in which we procrastinate. But the interesting part of it is that so much of the stress that we attribute our lack of energy, our lack of creativity, so much of that stress is produced by our own procrastination. And it's time, as we said before, to develop a plan to move us forward, even if it's just one step. The longest journey begins with that single step. So in making a step forward, how do we do that? We determine what needs to be done. We actually take an inventory of what we need to do, what we may have that we haven't even considered, that puts us farther down the road than what we thought. And once we're able to make that first step, the road will unfold in front of us. You have to make the first step in order to determine what the second step needs to be, or to find out how much detail is involved, and then to determine whether you're ready, prepared, and that you can make the second step. The basis of our procrastination is our fear. And that fear will cripple us until we take the necessary steps. And as long as we're standing in that position where it is not fight, it is not flight, but it is frozen, we stand there anticipating usually the worst. And because we fear the worst, the procrastination stops us from making any move whatsoever. It's very, very important to understand that blame game, blaming someone else, will stop you every time. It could be, I had a rough childhood, or my childhood was so easy until I never learned to do what needed to be done. Well, at that point, when we're able to formulate an idea, a concept on what is stopping me, what is stopping us, then we're able to change that thought by enacting the actions that are necessary to eliminate that excuse. And if the excuse is blaming others, look deeply within ourselves. Forgive the other person. Forgive our inability for positioning ourselves in stress for so long that we felt stuck. You are not stuck. You simply need to make a decision. When it comes to the emotional side of life, there are situations, there are losses that we can experience that knock us completely off balance. And we lose the ability because we're so stuck in the emotion that we're unable to even figure out what the next step should be. And so I would like to present this to you if that is the place you find yourself. It may be a wonderful thing to get a counselor. And I'm not necessarily recommending a counselor that's going to feed back to you the same limitations that you're attempting to overcome. Sometimes when the people that we are around are so closely aligned to our current beliefs that they are unable to move us into that new area that we would like to live in. So think very carefully about the appropriate person that you feel would be able to understand you, because sometimes that person is a part of the problem. It's necessary to get fresh eyes. Sometimes if we're looking in terms of maybe spiritual things, to look outside of that belief system, because the belief system may be part of what is hindering you, holding you in fear, and further prolonging that period of procrastination. So we need sometimes to get fresh eyes on our situation, eyes that have not been indoctrinated into the very concepts and ideas that we are trying to remove from our lives due to the element of procrastination that they have prolonged. Many times our belief systems are exactly the areas that we need to realign ourselves with. What do I believe? And we've done this in previous episodes. Am I moving forward on antiquated ideas? Am I simply repeating what I've heard when I grew up that maybe was not accurate, or something that I've always disagreed with, but never taken the time to figure out just why I disagree, or to be able to replace those thoughts, those ideas, those concepts, those stereotypes sometimes with what I believe and not what someone else believes. When we're looking at our lives from a financial perspective, and what's blocking us and what we're fearful about. We look at a number of areas. It could be that we do need additional training in order to reach a different level, maybe, of compensation in our workplace. Maybe we do. But it's figuring out, well, how do I get that education? I don't have enough money now. What can I do? Look into it. Really dig in. There may be ways that you are unaware of right now that would allow you to accomplish that goal. And once you move forward on that path, it may not be overnight. You may have a period in which you have to grow in the area that you are entering in. Maybe you're entering into a different line of work. And so you're going to have to take the ladder one ring at a time and move forward in that way. But if you never begin, you can never get to the end result that you'd like to have. Sometimes when we're looking at improving ourselves, we're afraid that we don't have what it takes to do it. We may feel as though we're not smart enough, that this has always been an area of weakness for me, and I don't even want to try. Okay, well, there's another way around that as well. If you remember years ago when there was only a paper and a pencil and we did not have calculators, that those who had a difficult time with math maybe were reluctant, to even figure out, that's not the way my brain works. I don't even know which way to go. And that is absolutely fine. But we have tools today that allow you to overcome your weakness. And sometimes we haven't utilized those tools that are just right at hand that would make things so much easier. There's so much that is in our world today that prior generations didn't have, that we're limiting ourselves if we don't learn how to use those advancements. Sometimes that is the only thing that we need to do. It's funny because I still know of people that in the day of having smartphones, of which they do, that have earbuds that you can put in your ears and enjoy your music. I'm aware of people who still use a regular radio on their desk that spills out into the environment of the room that maybe is not what the person next to you would like to hear, but yet they're forced to because the person has decided they don't want to use the current technology which is available to them. When we get to that level of resistance, then we have to again ask ourselves why. What is the benefit of continuing to use devices that are no longer applicable for where you are? What is the benefit in that? And I would say that it is the fear of change, the fear of something new, the fear of figuring out what to do. I came across a person years ago who was unfamiliar with utilizing their computer, and every day they came to get assistance on how to start the computer, how to move forward in their workday because they were fearful. That procrastination causes difficulty for others around you sometimes, and they become less willing to help you to accomplish your goal. Look at what you have directly in your hand and utilize those things in order to become everything that you want to be. We're going to continue looking at procrastination. I hope that you will really evaluate the areas of your life that are causing you the pressure, the stress of staying stable when you know in your heart that it's time to move forward. Remember, we limit the pressure we're under when we eliminate the procrastination that is holding us back. Are you anticipating an outcome that you don't want, and therefore you're unable to move forward into what you do want? If you haven't done so, please get your copy of a Diamond Journey Journal. You can use this tool to help you to find those places in your life that you are procrastinating that are holding you back. If you haven't done so, please subscribe. Please like the podcast or the YouTube video that you're watching and leave a comment. I'd love to know what you think and how you feel about the subject matter that we've been going through. Possibly you are looking for a mentor, someone that you can speak with one-on-one. If you would like to find out what it would take in order for me to be your mentor, please visit my website at www.DrAnitaMc.com. That's DrAnitaMc.com. If you are on NoomVibe, please subscribe to me, and we will be able to share some information that also may be very, very vital in getting you where you want to go in the areas of your life that are pertaining to maybe your emotional well-being or your physical well-being, or moving forward into everything that you want to be. And you can get in touch with me or connect with me on FanBase. But above all, keep coming back. We're not finished in this process until we achieve the goals that we have set out to achieve.